And so I actually sent you guys the wrong reading. If you go in.
Okay, I read both of them already. Are we supposed to have the 1985? Right?
Yeah, it's the I think it's 1983, isn't it? I thought it was 83, but maybe it's 85. Yeah, and the whole goal is to go through and negotiate what it is that we want.
Okay, so hang on. Here's my question. So 1983, 5 years have passed since the last negotiation. Okay, so they already, hang on. And I'm just skimming through it real quick.
No problem.
Because I have 3 documents open for this case. Let me look at them all so I know what I'm looking at.
Yeah, there's a lot of moving parts and pieces.
Okay, 78, yeah, so 80, yeah, 83. Management wanted to update the 5-year contract or whatever. Is that right?
Yeah, well, 190 wanted to update and slow some things down. So there's issues with safety, there's issues with wage, and we don't get what we want, we're striking, essentially.
Okay, why do I have 85 open? I don't think I've read that one yet. Hang on, did I? There's too many of them.
I know. It's a confusing lot. Okay. So our whole goal tonight is to get together and get a sense. We need to read, and then and the content that we need to read. If you guys are in there now, let's see. I believe it's in the 1985 Baxter Corporation. No, I don't think that's it. Hang on. Let me get you to the right link.
Okay, this meeting is off the 1983 one. The other meeting with the other group is 1985.
Man, you are confusing me.
That's what I understand. Hang on. Finish these readings. Okay, 78 and 83 was the quiz. Right?
Yeah, I'm just seeing 1983 negotiation. Yeah.
Yeah, it was this one. 1985 is for the next meeting.
Okay.
Skip that one. I just want to make sure I understand everything here. And I thought I had read it all already.
Yeah, I know.
Okay,
it's
prepare to negotiate on behalf of Local 190, us, over the 1983 wage. Okay, so today we're talking about 1983.
Where are you in? What?
I'm on discussion prep all students.
Okay. I just clicked on one of those, this discussion prep.
It's 1104 discussion prep. Okay, so that's discussion prep all students. And then, so we have to be, like, our group has to be prepared to talk about that. 1105 says read that, and then what? Yeah,
so that 190 confidential information, I've pulled that up and taken some notes on that. So okay, yeah, so
it's the next meeting where we read 1985 within the meeting.
Okay. All right. So I've taken some notes in here and kind of laid out the challenges. So in 1981, there was a wage. Have you guys read the 1985? You guys read that 190 section?
I'm trying to remember if I've read this one.
Okay.
I read the 83 and the 78 for sure.
I'll go through this document and just kind of give you some highlights. So 1981, wage negotiations was frozen at 1069.
Yes.
1985, announced the company have come to an agreement. Oh, wait a minute. Use your agreed upon wage here. If you do not come to an agreement, is the arbitrator's decision. The arbitrators agreed with management that the Me Too clause was applicable to felon. Thus, arbitrator ruled the base wage be set at $8.67. So, okay. In your 1983 negotiations, wages were renegotiated and set at, and so that's our goal, is to figure out what our wage is going to be. If we don't come to an agreement, then the arbitrator says, hey, it's going to go to $8.67 an hour. So a full $2 difference. So that's what we have to avoid. We've got to get to the 867.
Okay,
the
so
issues that are,
I know you're reading off of the 85 one. I'm trying to understand, when we go into the meeting with the other group, what year is it? 83?
All right, hang on. Let me get it. All right, when we go in with the other group, it is, there's a lot of moving parts in this. It's rather confusing.
I'm going back to discussion prep, all students.
Yeah, no, there's a really good write-up that goes through everything, but I've got to find it.
Brian, you got any ideas? From this one, it looks like we have to go off the 1983 one.
Well, first of all, could everybody hear me? I'm having like really bad computer issues.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay. Sorry, I normally use my laptop, but it's not working for some reason. So.
All right, go into 11.01, and I think this is going to give us the instructions we need.
Okay.
All right, so 11.01, it's called reading, organized labor. These are our instructions. Split in 2 groups, 2 teams, 190, and Adams Baxter Management. Before you do, we've already gotten to that point. If you're assigned Local 190, we need to read the following. The 1978 negotiation, Local 190, confidential, and then the 1983 negotiation, confidential.
And that's it?
For this portion.
Right.
Now,
okay.
All right, so 1, you divide into teams. 2, start 2 Google Hangouts. In smaller teams, reading Baxter 190 or Baxter 190, then in the same smaller groups, plan your negotiation. So all we're doing here is reading and then planning our negotiation strategy.
Okay.
Where are you reading that?
It's, again, 11.01, reading, organized labor.
Wait. I'm sorry. 11.01.
Did you find it?
Reading, organized labor. Yes. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Yes, I've read both of those already. Take the quiz. Okay, we're in our 2 teams.
Yep.
They are already doing their Google Hangout. This is our Google Hangout.
Correct.
Read, we already read that. I'm assuming Ryan already read those because we had to take the quiz, right?
Yep.
I read one of them. I haven't.
Okay, go to the 83 one and read the bullet points on page 2.
Okay.
I feel like that's the most important.
Those are the issues that we need to draw in.
Yeah.
183. or I'm sorry, 1983.
1983. Yep.
Page 2.
Yeah.
And just go over the bullet points on page 2, and I think you'll be good. Yeah, because it says don't peek at the other material, so I didn't.
Good
And
for
then
you.
plan our negotiation strategy. Okay.
All right. So yeah. So we need to just come away with how we're going to approach our negotiation with Baxter.
Okay. So while he's looking at that, first of all, Cody, I'm glad you're in charge and you're doing the negotiation, because I can find myself getting very heated about this.
Why was I on the labor side? I don't want to be a union.
No, I like the labor side because I think it gives us an opportunity to be the people, right? Because who is it? That guy that's on all the Stanford videos that we had to watch in all these business classes. He's the Asian guy, Guy Kawasaki.
Yeah, Guy Kiyosaki. Yeah.
Yeah. So in everything he does, everything he says, he always says that if you're in it to make money, you might make money, you might not, but you won't make a difference. But if you're in business to help people and make a difference, not only will you love what you do, but you're pretty much going to make a lot of money.
Yeah.
And I feel like this whole negotiation thing has taken this company from an area where it was that, like after Adam Baxter Jr. died back in, whenever that was, it went from a company like that who cared about the people, cared about the workers, and let the profits fall where they may. And because of such, he had great workers, loyal ones, highly productive, and they kept doing well and kept doing well. And so new management comes in because old owners died, and it is transitioning into people management that doesn't care about the people. They only care about the bottom line.
Yeah.
I feel like they're going to lose a lot. This is my negotiation position.
Yeah, it's and what's interesting is in another class that I'm taking, they go over Patagonia and why it's such a wildly successful model. Is because
wasn't that a fun case study, that Patagonia one?
Oh, I love Yvon Chouinard. Amazing.
I thought that was fascinating because it's the same thing. He only did what he did because he wanted a better product and he wanted things for himself to use, and he cared about the environment. That's it.
Right. A reluctant businessman. He hates business. He hates MBAs.
And his product is expensive. Patagonia is pricey. But you know what? It's such great quality, and because of what he stands for, people keep buying it, and his company keeps getting bigger.
Yeah.
Look at the way he treats
in Scotland 5 years ago. And the thing is beautiful. It's like I bought it the day, it's like the day I bought it. 20 plus years ago. It's fabulous. I want more, but it goes kind of against what he stands for.
Exactly. It does go against it. Like, what businessman is like, please don't buy more of my product. Make do with what you have.
Oh, yeah, I love it. So, yeah, I think labor unions are a tremendous racket. I don't have a lot of respect for them. But it's sad that we're in a position where you kind of have to do that because the businesses are punks. So anyway, that's another conversation for another day. Okay,
this negotiation is strictly about the base wages. Yes.
It's about the base wages
only. No, none of the other bullet points. Just that.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. I read through the bullet points, so I'm kind of got an idea. So
okay. I think the bullet points help you get an idea of where management stands and where we stand.
There's so much more meat to it. There's so much more out there. I know it's only on the wages, but man, the whole autonomy, the micromanaging, the safety.
I know. I wish I was negotiating all the rest of it because I feel like those are almost more important than the base wage.
Yes. It's kind of a mess. All right, so let's go. What do we want to do? What are our thoughts?
Well, they have to keep it where it is.
So it's frozen at 1069.
Yeah, I think they have to keep it where it is. If they want, okay, what if they keep it where it is for all existing and new people coming in, they give them a lower rate? They're not as trained. They don't have seniority. It's not against the law.
Right. Well, and so that's the deal. Baxter's going to come back and say, hey, they don't need to have this higher wage because of the machinery. They're operating at higher efficiencies. The machinery is pretty much doing a lot of the risk, taking care of all of the challenges. So therefore they can, but I like Christine's thought of coming in and saying, hey, freeze the existing, and those who come in new come in at that 869.
Right, the lower wage. Well, what about this? So I want to say in this 1983, didn't they also say that they had a lot of layoffs? Is that where this one was?
They did because of the machinery.
They had, and they did the 52-week notice, but they laid off over the course of 2 years, like 500 people. And so if they're getting rid of 500 people at the 1069 wage, they've already eliminated labor costs, like fixed labor costs, by that much. I mean, get my calculator, hang on.
Yeah, it's a lot, but you also have to look at the capital outlay of the machinery. You know, they'll come back and say, hey, whatever outlay we've gained on the employee side, we've got to recoup on the capital expenditures.
But their profits keep going up every year. Are they really going to stick it to the workers that make all of this possible? It's like Newsies all over again.
Right.
Okay,
that's true, and I think I read
$10.69 an hour is over $5,000 an hour.
Go ahead, Ryan.
Thinking because I think I read somewhere in there where it said even though they reduced the labor because of the machines, that those who were working harder to maintain those machines.
Right. And
retainment, right? Yeah. So I mean, I don't know if we can go through the argument of like, if you want to retain these employees, you have to pay them because they'll take off.
They will.
Well, and that's a good point. Another element that they talked about in there is the fact that because the machines are running 24/7, they always have to have coverage. And so it's putting kind of a strain on them to always have the coverage in there. I think there's burnout in there with the constant workflow.
People-wise, you're saying?
Yeah. So the people that are left.
Only with the new people, because all of the people that have been there for 20 years have strong loyalties to the town and to that company. And people who have been treated so well by a company and done a job that's hard like that for 20, 25, 30 years, they're not going to bail out because, you know, they have to work, you know, the night shift or the swing shift or whatever, because they've been there this whole time anyway. They know how to do it and they're not scared off by it. It's the new people that are going to get scared off by it. And if they say, oh, you're working harder, oh, and by the way, you're getting paid less to do harder work, that's when they'll take off.
And more dangerous work at that.
And more dangerous.
Do you think, though, that if they were to, ones that have seniority can keep a higher wage, but those coming in new will wage, do you think that would just make an excuse for them to then start just taking out all the old people and just newer people? That would drive their costs.
I
mean, ideally,
they could do that, but I think they would find their productivity goes way down. And there is a cost to training, recruiting, hiring, training.
Well, not only that, they've got a lot of issues with safety. They've got, injury, and that's much higher than the standard in the company, much higher in the industry. And so if they just get rid of the old experienced folks who understand and know that work, they're going to put themselves in a position of even higher injury rates. And that's going to curtail their productivity that much more.
True.
Okay, so I'm taking. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I guess what would be their argument? I mean,
Profits is all about the money.
So I guess for us to fully understand how to counter back, it would be understanding what they possibly are already doing right now. But I'm trying to understand better of like what would they come back to us with and how we can.
Yeah. Well, so what happens is, let's see, let me find this, how it, oh, no, don't. Ah, geez, fat fingers. All right. The role is start two, and then step two, the discussion leaders meet. So myself and whoever the discussion leader is on the other side, we begin negotiations and negotiate a final wage. Teams hang out. So this will be our second hangout. This will be a regular hangout meeting. So we'll meet 15 minutes, and then discussion leaders rejoin their teams, read and discuss additional materials from Harvard Business Reviews. And then the two discussion leaders meet again, negotiate final wage. Then two discussion leaders meet again, write contract they have negotiated. So I think we'll be going back and forth with each other during our second meeting tonight. Again, all we're doing is reading and then the planning that we should take place. I think we've established kind of our strategy, at least just on the wages side of things. And that's new folks coming in 867, and then existing employees at 1069. A question I would have is, do we have any idea of how many new employees? I mean, how much of a relief that's going to give Baxter if they kind of kick back and say, well, that's not enough? I mean, do we have any idea of the numbers we're talking about here?
Let me go down to the exhibits down here. No, that's just a financial statement.
Reading it on the side.
Well, it's tilted sideways.
Yeah.
On this one, it's financial summary.
Wage costs in 85 are 233,000. 1983 was 250,000. So what's interesting is they've gone from 82, 269,000 down to 250,000. Then 84, 241,000, and 85, 233,000.
Dude.
Yeah, that's a concern.
Hang on, which one are you looking at?
I'm looking at the 19. Oh, I'm at the 1985. Sorry.
Okay. All right. So 81 is 270. 82 is 269, and 83 is 250. I mean, they've been going down every year. How much money do they need to keep in their own pocket?
Well, so yeah, I think efficiencies have improved.
Hold up. Yeah, I'm just looking at all of these. I will say percent of sales has gone up slightly.
Right, but I don't, yeah.
Well, the thing I'm looking at is in 1980, they had 254 on wage costs, and then 270 in 81, but they made 100,000 more in 81. And so the percentage of the net sales aren't as big.
That's a good point.
As 80 and 81, and it's because they had more costs and wages.
Are you guys on the 85 document?
Make those numbers to the meeting.
Yeah.
You can't argue with cold hard data.
Are you guys looking at the 85 document?
Yes. No, 83.
83. So I think that's something that needs to be brought up and say, you know, there really hasn't been, and I'm looking at 78 and 79 because there was almost 180 or something odd increase in net sales. But you'll see also in 78 my head. In 78 and 79, there was about $33,000 more in wage costs. It was almost 200,000 more in net sales. A good example is 78 and 79, and then the cost in 80 and 81. So you put more money into wages, you're going to get more net sales.
Boom. That's what it's about.
All right. It took me a little while. Ryan, you want to encapsulate that for me again? Say that again. So
that was
yeah, because in 1980 they had $1,321,000 in net sales, and then you look in 81, it's 1,433,000. So that's an increase of 100 and what? And so the increase in wages was
16,000.
Yeah, they only spent like 16,000 more, but they made, you know, a lot larger percentage in net sales. And the same goes for 78, 9. They almost made 200,000 more in sales, and the increase in wages were 33,000. So you can show that you put more into the wages, there's more increase in net sales.
Right.
Because if you look at 82 and 83, the sales drop, the wages drop too, or the wage costs drop too. So that's a solid, you know, with the facts saying you drop the wages, your net sales are obviously going to drop.
All right.
Yeah, because I mean, they're thinking all about, well, wage costs, but the wage costs drive a better net sales. So what do they want? They want to spend more and get more, or do they want to spend less and get less?
Love it.
Yeah. See, that's why you get the big bucks right there, Ryan.
Yep. That's good.
Yeah, that's good. All right.
So
yeah, I'll take that.
Take that to the bank.
Yeah. All right. So I think between the two things, I think we've got a little bit of muster and a little bit of moxie that we could throw their way.
Mm-hmm.
And I can get belligerent. Do you guys have some things that I can use to be angry and belligerent?
I think, okay, here's the thing. If it's Afton, she won't let you talk much.
I can handle that.
I think if it's one of the other two, which I don't think it will be.
Shanley?
Yep, or Scott. They would listen to you more. So I think with Afton, it's really important not to get belligerent because she won't take it well.
I'll just get Moose and Rocco to bust kneecaps. Isn't that what the local unions do? You know?
And I think short, sweet, to the point is key for her. No emotion. Just these are the facts.
Yep. Yeah.
That's my opinion, depending on who the leader is.
All right.
I think the main thing too is that they're gonna say it's gonna be based off of emotion. Like, well, we feel that, you know, we don't need to have more workers, or we can reduce costs because of machines. But I think that is really going to drive our point and say, look at the numbers. Historically, this is what's worked. And we should take the approach of say, what do these numbers mean, so that they can say, oh yeah, there's an increase in sales. It's kind of like letting them to our point. Right.
Yep.
So
that's
I don't know. Yeah. I'm not good at doing that, but I would say that's probably the best bet is say, you know, whoever their leader is, tell me what are these sales costs and tell me what are these wages. What does that tell you? And then have them basically state what we want them.
Yeah. Yeah. I like the idea of approaching it that we're not in here for the warm and fuzzies. Let's talk facts. Let's talk hard facts and go through this and lay this out. So I think that's going to be our tactic.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
All right, guys, that's essentially what we needed to accomplish tonight. is go through and get our strategery. I hope I said that right.
If you're quoting SNL, then you did.
That's what I'm all about right there. And then so on Thursday, then we get together and we begin the back and forth. And I don't know how that's going to go down. I don't know if that's going to be recorded when we go off to our little.
Yeah. So here's how I understand it. You start a hangout for our group only.
Right.
They start a hangout for their group only.
Okay.
Both are being recorded.
Right.
Let's say they send you the link of their meeting. So you would go to theirs or something, chat, and then come back. Or maybe like I turn off my microphone.
I don't know. I'm just, I just work here is the answer that I'm giving when it comes to technology. I have no clue.
Let me read through it a little bit more. Maybe I'll send an email.
Okay. Yeah, that'll be interesting. So, all right. Well, cool. Well, we're done here. I'll stop the broadcast, and then I've got to work on my doohickeys.
Yeah, me too.
Ryan, you're not done yet? Your section looked pretty good.
I haven't even started my section.
No, I'm talking about Ryan's looks good.
To rewrite some things.
Okay, I finished mine.
All right, folks. I'll go ahead and stop.